Do you think a master painter could ever turn out an inferior canvas? The answer to this question is going to be what eliminates any worries, any fears, any anxieties that you are having with manifesting your specific person right here and right now. Because at the end of this video, you're going to have a totally different mindset, especially if you are thinking that it's impossible or really, really difficult to manifest your specific person. Now, let's go back to that original question. I know it seems very odd, and I promise it does have to do a lot with manifestation, but what do you think? Do you think a master painter, think of the most famous or most popular artist, do you think it's possible for them to turn out an inferior painting? Now, you might be like, maybe, but even if they mess up, because they are this master painter, it is a perfect art piece, right? And so I want you to think about that and also think about God or your higher self or your higher state or your universe or your reality, whatever you want to call it. Do you think God can put out an inferior product? And that's going to be the question that literally removes any doubts of if or how you're going to manifest your specific person. Because a lot of us think, oh my gosh, can I actually manifest? Is this actually doable? Is this actually possible? And I'll get to later a kind of a success story that goes along these lines. But that's going to be our thoughts, especially if we've been manifesting for quite some time. But remember, in the same way that a master painter cannot bring or create an inferior canvas, God it's impossible for them to create an inferior being. And you have this direct connection to your higher self, your higher state, this higher power. If you're into Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But basically, you cannot be flawed. It's literally impossible for you to be flawed because everything that is in creation right now comes from you and your higher self, which is perfect, which is love, which is abundance. And so it's physically impossible for you to be flawed. I want you to take this a step further because then if you are perfect as you are and you have the capability and the power of manifesting and creating anything you want, why do we then feel inferior at all, right? And this is all due to our own beliefs, our own internal state, or the thought that our reality could ever be working against us because your reality is not working against you. I know sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes we get into a victim or a disempowering mindset thinking, oh my gosh, my specific person did this, my reality did this, and this means I'm not supposed to get what I want. That is not true at all. Your reality, in just case, let's just imagine for a second, your higher self, your God state, whoever you want to imagine, think of your creator looking down at you. Would they not want you to be extremely and hyperly successful? I don't even think that's a word, but that's how much they want you to succeed. That's how much your reality wants you to get with or have what you desire. In the same way, then, your specific person is on this list. You are literally meant to get your specific person, and everyone in your entire reality is rooting you on in order to get there. Because even you could think of it in the way of imagine a father or a parent watching their child play any sort of sport, okay? Would they not be cheering them on every single moment of the day, being proud, wanting to see them successful and achieving exactly what they want? Because really, what would make a parent more happy, proud, feeling more glory than seeing their own offspring or their children to succeed? And so this is a state and idea I want you to bring with you every single step of the way. And once you actually dive into this mindset, if you're also someone who's ever like, why did these success stories, I don't know how people can manifest. These seem too good to be true. How are people doing this? This is the idea that's going to create you in order to manifest literally in this moment. And then you're going to look at all these success stories. You're going to begin to identify with them rather than against them. Because there's actually a Bible quote that I feel like is really, really cool in this instance because we are accidentally, by doing this, hiding our own light. We're hiding our own power. We're hiding all of the amazing things about ourselves. But the quote is, do not hide your light under a bushel, but let your light shine so that your Father may be glorified. Don't think and stop assuming your reality is against you because that could not be further from the truth. everything is working out in your favor. I'm rooting you on. Everyone's rooting you on. And this is literally the basis on how you're going to literally there's no way that you could ever feel anxiety, worry, or fear if you knew and thought that you were perfect as you are and everything you create is perfect. So even the fact that you think your specific person could not like you or you could ever fail literally blows my mind right now. And I'll give you an example of this because we all have thought this at some point or another. I will be honest. I've thought at some point, can this actually happen? Can we actually do this? And that's okay because it's all part of the process. But I want to give you this, this kind of longer success story that showcases how literally in just a few times meeting up, they went from not thinking it was possible, thinking all success stories were fake, to then achieving it themselves. So take a look at the screenshot. I know it's long. I'll go over the whole thing, but I like the first and foremost sentence, and then it goes into what they actually manifested or achieved with it. So the first thing they say is, I used to never believe in success stories. I thought they were fabricated. But ever since the Success Journal, writing every minute detail, I've seen movement, actually see everything as movement, plus no longer being anxious because I know everything is rearranging for my highest good, and then they go into their successes. So SB has been texting them daily a couple times every single day, which was their interval of success. I'll go into more detail about that. And they're having a new manifestation next week. And two, their attention from other guys, so basically other people in their reality, are beginning to reflect this state. And now I want you to remember, I have only known or been in contact working with this person for 2 weeks. So yeah, I think it's exactly 2 weeks. And they're part of my group manifestation coaching that I've been doing a giveaway every single month. And so I know it sounds funny to love this idea that they stated they never believed in success stories or even thought they were fabricated. Like, I even had someone comment on my Instagram after some of the success stories was like, no, these are fake. These can't be true. But it's true. This is your reality. And the more you're actually identifying yourself with someone who isn't perfect or can't do it, the more you're just creating that feeling within. And the point of, and I wanted to make a whole different video on this, but they talk about this concept in that success story, a success journal. It's basically a way of writing down all of your successes so you see more success. But it's a change in the way that we're viewing our reality. In the same way that once you start to see yourself as perfect, your reality reflects that. Because if you think you're right, or what is it? The Henry Ford quote, if you think you can and you think you can't, then you're right. Manifestation is always working. If you say you can't do it, you are creating that you can't do it. But if you say you can and you know that you will, then you have created that instead. But this is, again, a mindset. When I first heard of this or was thinking of this idea, it absolutely blew my mind. Because honestly, I was always wondering, why do people ever say, I'm not good enough, I can't do this? All of those kind of negative or disempowering thoughts when you literally came from perfection. Like you couldn't have been created from anything else. And I think this kind of gives light to, I don't know if you guys, there's like an Einstein quote, which I don't actually know totally about it, but basically says that evil is not from God or from our higher self or our God state. It's actually a lack of God or lack of our higher state, which all of this is the metaphor for your reality. So anytime you're perceiving negativity, it's just a lack of your positive attention on it, because everything is always working out in your favor, no matter what it is. It's literally always working out for you. And if you can just go into your mindset and remember, you're perfect. I know you may feel like or seem like things are not perfect, but if you take this assumption that you are perfect, and just in the same way that your higher self, your God state, cannot put out an inferior product, neither can you. That's physically impossible. You are this master painter. You are this master creator. What could you possibly do that could create something false or bad or negative? In the same way that we talked about at the beginning, the painter literally the master painter cannot make a bad product. No matter what art it is, no matter what, even if they just put random drawings on a piece of paper, it would literally be valuable instantly because of who created it. And so that's you. So there's never actually an inferior product. There's never actually an inferior person. There's never an inferior state. There's never an inferior circumstance. You are always doing the positive. You're doing like God's work, your higher self's work. And again, if because I know some people like the term or using the ideology of God or not, but this is a very basic Neville Goddard thing. So if you want to kind of dive more into that, I would definitely check out more of Neville Goddard's or Joseph Murphy's works, because they basically use the Bible as a metaphor for your reality as you being this perfect connection with your higher self. And so I wanted to reiterate, if this has not eliminated all your doubts because you realize that your doubts are literally inexistent and only a product of our worry, then definitely let me know in the comment section below. Let me know any other questions, comments, concerns, anxieties, worries you have. You are literally perfect and you can have your specific person. Hopefully we know the connection between this and our specific person. So it doesn't matter if you are long distance, there's a third party, anything like that. I know it sounds strange at first, but when you start implementing this, it's going to blow your mind. All of this is working out in your favor. I know the distance, you're like, what? How does that work in my favor? The third parties, the circumstances, everything is working out in your favor. It's impossible to be working against you. And as soon as you make that shift, because I know it seems really strange right now to think of something that is bad as being good, but just roll it around in your mind for a little bit and start to think about it. And you will see a drastic shift with your specific person, with your circumstances, and with your manifestation. This is literally the way to manifest in the quickest way possible. Remember as well, you can also reach out to me if you want to send me a personal question over at kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where you can reach me personally. Also, always remember, if you did want to make your manifestation easy and effortless, I am always manifesting for all my members. I actually have a manifestation of my own to have 10,000 success stories with my members. So if you want to become one, just click the link in the description. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I can't wait to see you in my next video tomorrow.